Hey, folks. So today's Derek's birthday, and I thought it was only suitable to share some teachings from Derek, something valuable that he gave me, because as we all know, Derek didn't stop teaching when he transitioned. His teachings live on in all of us who loved him, all of us who learned from him, and all of us who were changed by just being in relationship with the beautiful soul that Derek Scott was. So here is another or some other teachings from Derek. When Derek first transitioned, I was so incredibly angry with him. And I don't mean like soft anger, I mean like big, huge fuck you anger. And I stayed in this place for weeks. My parts went over every moment of my relationship with Derek and seen all of it through this distorted lens of attachment, rupture, and abandonment. Every interaction with him suddenly became evidence of pain. And let me tell you, this was not how I expected my grief process to go. Uh, and then something really special happened. There was a really beautiful turning point that changed everything for me. One super early morning in Montana, I was sitting in the hot tub, looking at the sky, looking at the trees, and the sun was just starting to come up. And I heard Derek's voice. And he said, Mel, I didn't create this pain in you. I only stirred it when I left. And that changed everything for me because he was so right. I wasn't actually mad at him. And our entire relationship wasn't a series of attachment ruptures. And he didn't actually abandon me. My firefighters were distorting the narrative and seeing things through this lens because I was so profoundly sad. I had so much loss and grief in my system that anger felt easier, more acceptable, and a heck of a lot safer than diving into the depths of what was actually underneath all of that. And it was that moment, it was that morning that I realized anger was a part. And so for the weeks before that, I was just angry. Like there was no separation. Right. So I was able to notice, these are parts of me that are doing this. And I was able to be in connection with them. And when I could do that, they shared how much pain was underneath, how they were so scared of overwhelm of sadness, of overwhelm of loss, of overwhelm of grief. And so Derek really helped me realize how my anger towards him was a way that I was trying to protect myself from drowning, or what those parts thought I was going to drown in all of it. And I did have this sassy part that said, well, if Derek hadn't have left, we wouldn't be feeling all of this anyway. So it is kind of his fault, which, as I heard those thoughts in my head, I could really feel Derek's like sassy energy coming back to me that morning. And so what was really happening was, well, another thing that was happening was my present day grief was also activating older wounds inside of me and other parts of me that had been abandoned in the past. Right? So older pain was getting activated by this present day grief experience as well, as grief often does. And so, what are the takeaways from Derek? Uh, a few of them actually. Big anger, like huge big anger, is often protecting something underneath. Projection, as I was doing, is often a way that we avoid touching something inside of us that feels too painful, too overwhelming, too vulnerable. And so it's easier just to blame someone else. That's Derek's fault. That's not him. That's their fault. And so when we feel really stirred up by a situation or by something someone did or something someone said to us, often whatever's getting stirred up in us was already there before the situation happened. The situation just activated it in us, right? Even though it's easier to say, you made me feel angry, whatever, scared. They did that to me, right? But more often, that was probably already in us. Um, Present day grief, next point, often activates older wounds inside of us, right? And so when we're feeling loss and big experiences now, it often will track back to other times that we had similar experiences. Who knew? Grief was actually trying to teach us something or show us other areas inside that we need to heal. And the most profound and powerful piece in all of this for me is that Derek came to me in that moment in Montana to help me grieve him. And so even after Derek leaving this realm, he was still teaching me. He was still helping me turn towards myself with more honesty, with more compassion, with more understanding, to literally help me grieve him not being here. And there's like, as I remember this and name this, there's such a like a deep tenderness inside of me that this experience really reflects who Derek was in this lifetime, right? Showing up with so much perspective and tenderness and care for everyone who was a part of his life. And so he's still doing that, folks, even though he's not in this realm with us anymore. And so I just wanted to take this time to offer like the deepest bow to Derek, who is now an ancestor for so many of us, and to say happy birthday to Derek, who was one of the most, is one of the most profound, caring, alive, and deeply loving people that I had the honor of being close to in this lifetime. And so much love to you, Derek.